Time for more egg on our face, Professor. Here's another instance of a game of the Japanese version being easier in the sense that there was a character who would refill your health and give you money if you entered her house. Of course this was removed for the NES version, but that's not the only thing that was removed. While both versions feature 6 levels, 2 unique levels in the Japanese version were removed due to data limits for the NES cartridges. The result is that 2 of the existing levels were simply recycled in the NES version, but the enemies featured weren't updated to reflect this, which is purportedly why you get enemies spawning in areas you can't access, like the bombers on the lower half of the screen. A number of enemies were also cut altogether in the NES version. During our class on Fester's Quest, we criticized Sunsoft for adapting the Addams Family into a video game, with the argument being that the kids of the late 80s didn't care about the Addams Family. Though this was admittedly years before their slight resurgence in the early 90s in film. But anyway, who the heck had the idea to make a game based on the 1886 novella The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson? The people at Advanced Communication Company, that's who. It should be very telling that other developers, while they were coming up with snappy and engaging names for their companies like Game Freak or Ultra, though admittedly the latter was just a shell corporation, the people at Advanced Communication Company said, what is the company name equivalent of a box of store-brand saltines? So yes, we've identified the who, but not the why. Why did they choose to spend time and money making a game on this story in particular? Was it the president, and he was on drugs or something, and the staff just had to bow to his every whim? Did they just throw darts at a board? Pull ideas from a hat? Did they even do that in Japan, Professor?
I don't know, Fluff, but I'm worried about both of our sanities at this moment. Very fair questions. Very fair indeed, that's all I'll say. I have no idea how you land on this. Of all, I mean, why not Shakespeare? Why not just go for some Hamlet? Some obscure Shakespeare, how about that? Anything but this.
There's a debug feature you can access on the title screen, which requires a second controller. Hold B on controller 2, then on controller 1 press up, B, right, left, down, right, left, A, B, right, select, B, down, and start. Once you get into the game, you can skip the current level by pressing A on controller 2, or you can alternate between Jekyll and Hyde modes on demand by pressing B on controller 2 as well. We haven't talked about box art in a while, but just about the only thing to really praise about this game is its intense box art. Of course, on the flip side, this cover undoubtedly suckered some kids into thinking this would be a somewhat intense, or at least mildly interesting game, before they got it home and saw this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, like, about the Psycho Wave, you know? Just don't pretend this game is good. Don't pretend it's cool or interesting.
The professor mentioned the game within the game of balancing your progress through the stages with both Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The best ending can only be accessed if you reach the final level with Dr. Jekyll, then subsequently reach it with Mr. Hyde and battle through all the way to the final boss. By the way, don't worry about the game overlaning, as once you reach the final level with Jekyll, the paths diverge, so whatever deep message they were trying to convey with the two worlds colliding seemingly no longer applies. If you reach the church as Dr. Jekyll without getting to the end as Mr. Hyde first, you'll get a much more vanilla end screen, which is honestly probably the ending this game deserves. That's not to say that the quote-unquote good ending is that much better, but I'll leave you in suspense to see it for yourself. The best thing to be said about beating the final boss, and real reason to do it, is that what is inarguably the most difficult level in the game for Dr. Jekyll becomes a literal stroll through town, as all of the enemies will have disappeared as you come back. So many strange development choices, Professor.
Yeah, when the bad ending is objectively harder to get. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video, and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you. And check the description of this video to see what song is playing right now.